Before silence entered their home, before love felt heavy, there was a time when everything felt simple, a time when love didn't require effort. It just existed. This is where Gustavu and Elizabeth's story truly begins, not with promises, not with vows, but with moments, small ones, unplanned ones, the kind you don't realize are important until they're gone. Years earlier, their lives hadn't collided yet. Elizabeth was focused, a nursing student with long nights and tired eyes. Her days were structured. Classes, exams, plans for the future. She believed life worked best when everything had a direction. Gustavu lived differently. He moved through life slowly. Odd jobs, music, late afternoons that turned into evenings. He didn't rush. He didn't plan far ahead. He believed happiness was found in the present moment. They met by chance. Nothing dramatic, no sparks flying across a crowded room, just two people talking and realizing time was passing differently. Their first conversations were awkward, gentle, honest. They talked about music, about childhood memories, about things that didn't matter, and everything that did. Elizabeth noticed something about Gustavu. He listened, not to reply, but to understand, and that made her feel seen in a way she hadn't before. Gustavu noticed something about Elizabeth, her determination, her seriousness, the way she carried responsibility so naturally. She felt grounded, like someone you could build a life with. Slowly, they became inseparable. Not because they tried to be, but because being together felt natural. They spent long evenings talking, laughing at jokes that weren't funny, sitting in silence that didn't feel awkward. Time stretched when they were together. Gustavu would sing, anywhere, street corners, empty rooms. He didn't care who heard. He loved Elizabeth openly, without fear. Elizabeth laughed at his boldness. She wasn't loud with love. She was quiet. But when she loved deeply. With Gustavu, she felt safe, not judged, not rushed. She felt like she could breathe. Back then, they believed love could solve anything. They believed feelings were enough. They didn't think about money or long-term expectations or how different their worlds really were. They lived in the moment, and the moment felt perfect. When problems appeared, they brushed them aside, like all young lovers do. They believed love would grow stronger with time. But life doesn't pause for love. It keeps moving, whether you're ready or not. One day, everything changed. Elizabeth discovered she was pregnant. Fear entered the room quietly. Questions followed. Uncertainty. The future suddenly felt fragile. There was doubt about timing, about readiness, about whether love could carry this weight. Gustavu didn't hesitate. He chose her. He chose the life forming between them, not because everything made sense, but because his love felt certain. To him, that choice felt romantic, pure, like love proving itself. Elizabeth felt relief and gratitude, but also pressure. A life was now attached to love, and love was expected to hold everything together. They married quickly, not because they were unsure, but because they believed love would grow into whatever they needed. For a while, it did. They built a small life, simple, imperfect, but full of hope. But something subtle began to shift. Elizabeth grew. Her career advanced. Her responsibilities multiplied. Her dreams expanded. Gustavu stayed the same. Not out of laziness, but contentment. He believed happiness didn't need more. At first, their differences felt harmless, even charming. But quietly, expectations began to form. Unspoken ones. Elizabeth began to want more direction, more progress, more stability. Gustavu wanted closeness, connection, presence. Neither was wrong, but they were no longer aligned. And that's the most dangerous place love can be. Not broken, just drifting. At this point in the story, they still believed love was enough. They believed effort could fix anything. They believed time was on their side. They didn't notice the cracks, because cracks don't appear loudly. They appear quietly, in small disappointments and unmet expectations. This is the part of love people don't talk about, the part where nothing goes wrong, but everything begins to change. And in the next part, we see how those small cracks widen, how love starts to feel heavy, and how the present begins to resemble silence. Because when love stops feeling easy, it starts asking questions, and not all questions have answers.